On this episode of LVAD Talk, we talk with Fatima Mathews. We discuss how she found out she had heart failure, postpartum cardiomyopathy, dying and coming back to life with an LVAD, dealing with life after death, having great caregivers, her parents, being a mean patient, the sounds of our LVAD, dating with an LVAD, and LVAD Tinder. Welcome to LVAD Talk. I am your host, Sean, and I am here with Miss Fatima Mathews. How are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
I can already tell you have a wonderful attitude.
Oh, I try.
So let's get into your story. How long have you had your LVAD?
I got my LVAD October 3rd of 2019. So this a year and a half almost.
Okay. So what led up to it?
I had my daughter, who is now 12 years old, 2009. Almost 3 months post post pregnancy, I had a heart attack.
Okay.
And it was postpartum cardiomyopathy, if I'm saying PPCM. And I didn't know anything about it. I was on my way to work, normal day. I was tired, but nothing, new. I had a newborn. So I was like, oh, it's just in your head. So go to work. So I started, drove to work, walked to the building, and I was like drenched in sweat. And my supervisor was like, you look really bad. What's going on? And I'm like, I don't know. I drove myself to the hospital.
Okay. As many of us do because we don't know.
Yeah, because I had no idea. And I'm thinking it's in my head this whole time. Like, I never thought that it was anything serious. I thought it was in my head because I just had a baby, and I was 30. So I'm like, is this some kind of sign, So I took myself to the hospital. I was there from like 9 in the morning to like 4 or 5 in the evening. And the doctor came in and said, you had a heart attack.
Wow. So they discovered it through the blood work, probably.
Yeah. And I was like really, really hot and sweating a lot. That's all I really remember. But the good thing was they just kept me on medicine pretty much for about 9 years. Then I got a defibrillator put in a couple of months afterwards. So about 10 years later, 10 years later, I went to go get my defibrillator battery changed.
Okay.
And everybody was like, oh, no worries. It's an in and out surgery. It's nothing serious. You come in, a couple hours, you leave. Fine. No problem. Well, I coded on the table.
Wow.
Yeah. And I woke up. I was literally dead for 8 minutes. From what I was told anyway, 8 minutes. And I woke up maybe 2 weeks later. And that's when I realized that I had the LVAD.
Wow.
So I didn't get to make a decision.
Okay.
I didn't know anything about it. I remember years ago when I first had the heart attack, my doctor asked me at that point in time, do you want this?
Okay.
And I'm like, no. I'm 30 years old and I just had a baby. And no, of course I don't want that, I guess it was more vain than anything else. But I was like, no, just give me the medicines and I'll work to do whatever it is that I have to do to keep myself safe.
So basically, you went in to get your battery changed. They gave you anesthesia for that, and then you woke up 3 weeks later.
And I coded as soon as they gave me 50 cc's of fentanyl.
Okay.
I wasn't even in the room 7 minutes.
Wow. So you have no memory of that whatsoever?
No memory. I don't remember driving to the hospital,
Uh-huh.
or like my mom, my uncle came with me. They drove me there, that we were gonna just have lunch and go home afterwards. But I don't remember anything. I don't remember the days before it. All I remember is weeks later, I waking up and I see all these people around me, and I'm like, what is going on? And I felt like people like holding me down.
Uh-huh.
Like, so what it was I was fighting. I
Uh-huh.
was fighting the nurses, and I pulled out my um thing, I don't even know what it's called, the thing they put in your mouth.
Yeah, yeah.
And I pulled it out because I'm trying to get up. Like,
Uh-huh.
what's all this? Like, what's going on? And they had to tie me down to the bed because I wouldn't stop fighting.
I won't blame you.
But that was 2 weeks after I had the LVAD.
Right, right.
I was in ICU, and then once I got, coming out of ICU, that's when all this was happening.
So did you have to go through major rehab after that?
I went through, yeah, well, yes, I had to learn how to walk all over again.
Uh-huh.
Because you have the ECMO,
Uh-huh.
and everything is, limp because you've been out of it for 2 weeks.
Uh-huh.
And I had to learn to walk. I had to learn to, do exercise, and my memory is shot.
Uh-huh.
I don't know why, like, is that something, I guess that's something we all have. I'm not really sure,
You're
but
still
my
having
memory,
ongoing memory problems.
yes,
Okay.
definitely. Like, I can remember things that happened years ago, but I can't remember what I did yesterday.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
So how long did you stay in the hospital after that?
I was in the hospital for about 4 weeks after. So a month and a half.
Okay.
And then I had therapy coming once I was home. You have the nurse,
Uh-huh.
and they do physical therapy with you.
So how old were your kids at this time?
My first child was 19,
Uh-huh.
and my daughter had just, I believe, 11 at that point.
Okay.
She just turned 12. Yeah.
And now did they turn into your caregivers?
No, I actually stayed with my mom,
Uh-huh.
and my parents, I can't even, they were everything to me.
Uh-huh.
They lived on the hospital floor,
Okay.
like literally slept on the floors. My whole family was there every single day. Um, so they never let me alone. And I am really thankful for that. Like, I hear nowadays, you can't go into the hospitals
I
and things
couldn't
like
even
that.
I couldn't
I,
imagine having my
I
surgery
get
now.
so sentimental when I talk about my family, because I can't believe I put my parents through that.
Uh-huh.
And it's so sad that they had to go through that, and the decisions that they had to make for me.
Uh-huh.
But they did it, and they did it without any problems and no complaining. And they had to teach me things all over again.
Uh-huh.
They had to be like really, they had to take their time with me. And I wasn't nice. From what I understand, they told me I was very mean.
Uh-huh.
So I wasn't having it. I was fighting them too.
Right, right, right.
But they took very good care of me. I stayed with them for about almost a year, probably like 6 to 8 months.
Uh-huh.
And then I went back and I got my own place, and me and my kids, and I do everything for myself now. I change my own dressings. I do everything alone. But my kids, of course, help me with, keeping up house and things like that.
When you did come back, did you recognize your parents? Or did it take a while before you recognized?
I I believed I recognized them.
Uh-huh.
I never even thought about that. I did, yeah, I recognized family, but there were some people I didn't recognize.
Uh-huh.
I remember waking up one time because you're in and out of the drugs a lot.
Uh-huh.
So I remember one time I woke up and a friend was like standing over me.
Uh-huh.
And he told me, I'm such and such. I just came to, give my, to show some support. And he prayed, and I had no idea who he was. No idea. But like a year later, he sent me a message and was like, "Do you remember when I came into the hospital and prayed with you?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, I remember that happening, but I had no idea who it was."
You weren't in your right self.
No, I wasn't, because I remember like I said, I was in and out of it a lot. So I remember actually thinking the doctors or the nurses were drugging me. Well, they were, but like for safety reasons. But I thought they were giving me like illegal substances, and I was fighting them all the time. My daughter does dance, and I thought that I was being held captive in the dance studio.
Okay.
So every time they came close to me, I would fight them because I didn't want no more drugs, because I felt like the only way I was going to get out of the situation is if I get off these drugs and walk out of there. But that wasn't the case.
You're not the first person. I've talked to a couple people who said, right after coming out of it, they had real bad hallucinations.
Yeah. It was one nurse, and if I could ever see her again, I would really love to apologize to her, because I remember my mom was telling me, like, "This is nurse such and such," and she had all these tattoos. It's like, "She's not a nurse. She's not a nurse." I'm like screaming at the top of my lungs, like, "Get away from me! You're not a nurse." But she was a really nice. My mother was like, she was so sweet. She didn't she wasn't upset about it, because they understand what's going on.
Yeah.
But I was totally against her. She had tattoos, and I'm like, ain't no nurse coming in here with like sleeves of tattoos.
Wow. So you say now it took you about a good year to be on your own.
Yes, it did take me a while to be on my own. I wanted to get up and go, like, really, because I love to go. I'm the type of person, I love to travel. I like to do everything. I'm very independent. But my body just wouldn't let me. I used to be so tired afterwards. Like, I was telling you about the therapist. She used to come in and try to get me to walk up the stairs and stuff. I'm like, I can't do this. Like, and I didn't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I honestly did not have the energy or the strength to do it. And I used to make up every excuse not to. But thank God she pushed me, because I got back to it quickly, pretty much.
So now that you're on your own, do you notice a difference in the way you feel in your activities?
Yes. I do everything that a normal mom would do. I run the kids around. I work. Thank God I'm working from home now.
Okay.
I cook, I clean, I do all of that. But at like by 9:30 at night, I'm done. Like, don't even come in my room. It's over. But the bad thing is I'm tired. I can't sleep.
Okay.
So there, my doctor is giving me melatonin and all this different kind of stuff, because my body is so tired. But I feel like because I have this machine in me, it's constantly keeping me up at night.
We talked a
But
little
I'm
bit
tired.
before we started. Do you hear your LVAD?
If I put my head on my shoulder, if I, cuddle with someone, I can hear it. And it kind of freaks me out, but it's okay, I guess. It's good that it's there.
Let me tell you, I always hear my LVAD.
Really?
It's a constant hum. But
I don't hear that. Maybe because I'm loud.
Well, let me
Or
tell
I
you why.
talk
They
too
had
much.
to, the way my heart had enlarged so much, they kind of had to jimmy it in there. And they have it sutured to one of my ribs.
Oh.
So if you know anything about sound waves travel. Yeah, so my rib is like an amplifier. So even I have this hum at all times in my head.
Constantly.
Like
that would drive me crazy.
First 3 months it did. And I just kind of get over, it's like, I'm just going to always hear this sound. And it's loud enough though. If you're in a room, like I was telling you earlier, my microphone picks it up.
Yeah.
And if you're in a
That's
room
amazing.
that's real quiet, you ever been in a room that has those old school lights that have a hum to them when you turn them on?
Yeah, yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
Wow.
Yeah. It's
Crazy. But it's amazing
mm,
in one aspect, but it's crazy in the next. Like, oh my God, like I'm here. I'm still here. And this is what happened to me. And this is amazing. But in the other aspect, it's like, oh my goodness.
yeah, I tell people I'm a real life cyborg.
I don't tell people anything, honestly, because I don't want people to look at me differently, I guess. And I don't my family, they're always like, how are you? Are you okay? Can we do anything? And I hate that. Like I don't want to be, don't try to take care of me. I'm okay. I got this,
Yeah.
like, but I try to dress it up as much as I can, forget about it, I guess,
Mhm.
and just live life.
So, all right, so I'm gonna get in your personal life now. We're gonna get in some personal business.
Mm.
Were you single at any time while you had your LVAD?
I was single the whole time.
So, what has dating been like with the LVAD? Because I want a
Haven't
woman's
dated.
perspective.
Haven't dated.
Really,
Have not been on a date since I had it.
girl?
I'm gonna be honest. I haven't been on a date.
All right. So, do you think it's self consciousness?
I think it is, yes. I think that I'm scared to be close to someone. I think that it was a gentleman who but I wouldn't date because I don't want to be a burden on anyone.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to get attached to people because what happens if, then they're gonna, like, if I die and then they're gonna be sad. And then I think about that. Like, so if I don't attach myself to anyone, then I don't have to worry about leaving them.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, but you can regular old just walk down the street and get hit by a car.
Yes, you can, but I think about it differently now.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I think about it all the time,
Mm-hmm.
like every single day.
So
Um,
when I was so I ain't gonna get in your business and not tell you mine. So when I had my LVAD, I was married and
okay.
my wife passed away.
Oh,
And it was, natural grieving and everything. It took me a good 2 years or so before I started dating.
mm,
And at first, yes, I was very self-conscious about the bag and meeting people and, having to answer questions. But
right.
then, because I consider myself a little bit of player. Then I was like, let's use that, you know? Great
Uh,
conversation starter.
mm,
Great conversation starter. And one of the things is you immediately know where somebody's head is at. Because if you talk to them and they be like, then let's just move on to the next. That's not the one. But
yeah,
you'll be surprised at how many people will sit down and talk to you because then they're curious.
yeah.
And they're curious. And I don't know about a women's perspective, but as a man, that's when you go in for the kill right then.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I never ever thought of it that way. I don't tell people about it. And when people ask, like, what's that or whatever, I tell them and I'm open with them. But, and especially now because I think the whole time that I really had this, um, it was the end of 2019 and I couldn't go anywhere. My first time out of the house was Christmas.
Yeah.
Um,
And that does for lack of a better word suck.
yeah, it did. It did.
Timing wasn't great.
Yeah. And then so I live in Niagara Falls, New York. It's always cold. It's always, well, in the winter, it's cold and snowing. So December and then March, December, then March, the only place I was going was back and forth to the doctors. And now March is here and the world closes because of Corona.
Right. So
now it's a whole year later and we still close.
We're going to have to invent LVAD Tinder.
I think they tried that. It didn't work. I was on it. But now that the weather is getting nice,
Mhm.
and I do plan on doing a lot of traveling this summer,
Okay.
and hopefully maybe I'll meet somebody. But if not, oh well.
How do you prefer to travel?
Well, I haven't been on a plane yet, but
Me
I
neither.
am I Mhm.
Me neither.
Really?
Yeah, I've talked
And
to
how long
people
have you had your LVAD?
6 years.
Why not?
The hassle. I was just speaking with my boy Mike yesterday. You'll see his episode come up, and he travels all the time. But I didn't want to go through TSA and have to explain why I got a bomb strapped to my chest.
Hmm. Well, I
But
haven't done that.
driving, yes, I've traveled because then I can take all
I've
my
done that.
stuff
I've
and
definitely
yeah.
drove a couple different places: Atlantic City, um, Ohio, Philly. So I've done a couple of places, but I am really excited about getting on a plane. I'm going to Florida
Okay.
in May
Hmm.
for a whole week, and I am so excited. I can't wait.
So the advice I was given, and I'm gonna pass it on to you, is a
Hmm.
couple days before your flight, call TSA,
Hmm.
get a letter from your team explaining about what you have, and they're not because you can't go through the metal detectors.
Right, right, yeah.
You can't go through the metal detectors, and you can't put your batteries under the plane. They got to go on the plane with
On the
you.
plane with me, yes.
Yeah. And from what I was
Yeah.
told, it does not count against your carry-on.
Right. I have medical tags,
Hmm.
so I can put it on, and all the medical bags have to go with me on the plane. Yes, I did.
And one of the things I was told, even if you need it or not, request a wheelchair
Mm,
because that helps you get in and out of security.
really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah.
And I would have
Request
never requested a wheelchair because
me pride, me neither. I'm like,
yes, exactly.
that's what I
Like,
got
I
this
could do
thing
this.
for, so I can walk.
Right, exactly. I could do this. Yeah. But
So,
now I know, so I guess I'll request a wheelchair.
and they got the little dude that has to push you through the airport and all that stuff.
Oh, really?
That's what they get
Oh,
paid for.
yes. I'm gonna feel crazy. Like, why can't you get up and go? Like, and then they be slow.
Yeah, but that'll get you through security a whole lot faster. Now, listen, I'm not speaking from experience. It's just all the things I've learned from talking to people.
Okay, I'm gonna take that advice. I'm gonna be smart about it.
And let them zoom you right on through there.
Okay.
You get on the plane first and everything.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a plus.
Hey, we got to take advantage of what we got.
Everything that we can, right?
Right.
Absolutely.
Because I look at it as, it's a blessing, and I'll take whatever comes with it,
Yeah, it
including
is
including
definitely a
my
blessing.
including my handicap tags.
It is I don't have them yet, but I'm gonna get them.
Yes, they are an absolute miracle at Walmart.
I don't even go in Walmart.
I
I'm
haven't since the
scared.
since the pandemic.
Yeah.
Walmart has cooties,
Yes, because it's nowhere you can social distance in Walmart.
and
Like,
it's all WalMarts. It's not just anywhere. It's just
yeah,
all
they're
Walmart.
always packed. So
Uh-huh.
no thanks. I'll stay outside.
So how has COVID affected your life, especially since you have an LVAD? Do you think you look at it a lot differently because you have an LVAD?
I do. I think because of COVID, and I think I'm very where I will go and where I won't go depends on how many people gonna be there.
Hmm.
Like if it's gonna be a whole bunch of people, I'm not coming.
Hmm.
If it's a couple people, I might come and I'm still gonna wear a mask.
Yeah, you need my.
Yeah,
I got.
I work from home, thank God,
Mhm.
because I worked in a building that had like 3,000 people in it.
Okay.
I work for Geico,
Okay.
and
Shout out to the
they,
lizard, to the
yes,
gecko, to the gecko.
I love my company. They take very good care of me there.
Uh-huh.
So they have us all set up so we can work from home, thank goodness. So I don't, I work from home all day, and I don't really go much.
Mhm.
And like that really bothers me because I used to go all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I
I
got
would
I got
constantly
younger
want to be on the
kids,
go.
and that's really aggravating to
Yeah.
them. My son is
My
10,
daughter,
and my daughter's 14 and they want to be out in the streets, and we
Yeah.
can't do that for daddy's sake.
Yeah.
You just can't be
hmm
hanging
I
out.
kept my daughter home from school,
Yeah.
so she doesn't go to school.
Mhm.
And she asked me today, can she go back for the last quarter?
Mhm.
And I'm like, no, I'm sorry. I don't have the shot
Same,
yet. I don't have the vaccine.
same with my kids. They're
hmm
staying out as long as possible,
Yeah.
and I feel for them though. Especially my son is a social butterfly,
hmm
and I can tell he needs to be around other kids.
Yeah.
I want him to be around other kids,
Yeah.
but I also want to live.
Live, right? You gotta weigh. Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely understand. Now, are you getting the vaccine?
I already have the vaccine.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I got the
That's
last shot
excellent.
on
Where are you
Friday.
from?
I'm in Virginia.
Virginia. Okay. So I'm in New York, and they just made it so people who are 60 and older can get it.
Mhm.
But they did make something for people with comorbidities,
Mhm.
like they can get it.
Mhm.
So that's me.
Mhm.
But there's no place. Every time I try to, like, I've been calling for days, and everything is all booked up.
You
So
gotta
I
stay
can't
on
even
it.
get one.
I got it.
Yeah.
Actually, I got it by luck. Someone sent me a link, and I went to. It was a private pharmacy. Like when I say private pharmacy, I mean it was a mom and pop pharmacy, not
Oh,
like
okay.
a CVS or Walgreens or nothing like that. Shout
Yeah.
out to People's Pharmacy in Norfolk, Virginia. But yeah, somebody sent me a sign up. I signed me and my mother up because the way Virginia did it, it was 65 and older or people with pre-existing conditions,
hmm
and so we both qualified, so we went together.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. I am calling like every day now
You got to stay
because I
and call,
definitely.
not only because, all right, so I had been waiting like a whole month for the health department, because you're supposed to go on the health department site.
Yeah, that's where I'm going.
We got to network with people, call other pharmacies. It'll come around. But now that I don't stay away from being political, but now we have a certain new administration in, it's a lot
hmm
easier, and it's getting
I hope
easier.
they hurry it. I hope it's because I'm actually going on a road trip to New York City in about 3 weeks. So
Mhm.
I would like to have it before then, but
Well, it's going to take, even if you get your first shot, you won't have your second shot by then.
second, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm to the point.
I'll be wearing a mask forever. It don't even bother me.
Yeah, girl, let me tell you, I like wearing my mask though.
Yeah.
I like it. I got masks for every outfit, for different pair
Yeah,
of shoes.
me too. Different
I'm not
colors.
going to stop. They're just
Yeah,
going to be
me
mad
either.
at me. I'm going to
Yeah.
sit right up in Walmart with my mask on, like, what? Say something, what?
Mhm. Absolutely. It's just the way of life now.
Yeah. So, let me see what else I wanted to ask you. Oh man. All right, so I got my vaccine. I'm waiting. So after you get your second shot, you still have to wait like 15 days
Oh, okay.
before it's
To
like
be like,
all the way through your system. Right.
okay. Did you get sick with the second shot?
For a day, I did.
Yeah, I hear
So
the second shot is a doozy.
the first shot had me sore in my arm, and
hmm
my arm was sore for like 3 days. And then I told you I got a 10-year-old son, so he thought it's funny to come by and just pop me in the arm. Like, hey, Dad.
You probably deserved it.
He almost got strangled a couple times. But the second shot, my arm got sore a little bit, but I listened to a couple of people, and I took a Tylenol before the shot, and I took a Tylenol after the shot. The very next day, that evening, I caught a fever. I had a fever, and my joints was achy.
Now that was after the second shot?
That was after the second shot.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because I got the shot on the 5th. So Coming to America 2 came out. So I was I was just laid up with the blanket watching Coming to America 2. Then I went to bed, woke up, and it was like that never happened.
Oh, that's good. That's real good. I'm a little scared of that too, but
Gotta go through it.
Oh wow, my
Your batteries are beeping. I know that sound.
Oh my goodness. Yes. So I have to go tend to
All
my
right.
battery.
So in that case, we're going to cut our conversation short.
Yes.
I'd like
Isn't
to have
that
you back
funny?
again. Right. But
Sure. I
I
would
didn't even
love
trip
to.
because I know exactly what it was.
I was like, because it never beeps. Like I always, so I was like, what's that? Like, oh, show my batteries.
All right. So real quick, so you can go change your batteries.
Okay.
Give everybody your social media, how they can get in touch with you.
Okay. Well, I'm Fatima Mathews on Facebook, and I don't really have any other social media. I'm real old school. I'm real laid back.
I feel you on
So
that.
yeah.
All
So
right.
I mean, anybody can friend me on Facebook. I'm here.
All right now. Thank you, Fatima. Thank you for your
Thank
time.
you. You have a good night.
And you go change them batteries.
I am right now.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.